What's up, everyone? My name is Nikos Xydakis, and you're listening to another episode of the Oak Performance Radio. I hope you enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Oak Performance Radio. I'm your host, Adam Lane. If you're new to the show, our goal here is to create some content, some fantastic content for athletes, parents, and coaches. We tell stories, have laughs, and go into everything that is the end game of athletic performance, helping athletes achieve their optimal performance and be the best they can possibly be. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Oak Performance Radio. I'm your host, Adam Lane. With me today, for the second, possibly third time, Nikos Xydakis. Yes. Nikos, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Again, Nikos, so for people that don't know, we podcasted before, years ago.
Yep.
Talked some things.
Yep.
Sports performance, some volleyball stuff. Recently re-recorded about all the things going on in your life, moving on to a professional volleyball career, and things then turned, and life has changed for you.
Yes.
In a good way.
Yes.
And now here we are. We have to re-record because if not, we were going to put out a bunch of incorrect information.
Correct.
To people, to the public.
Yes.
To the tens of people that listen to the show.
Correct.
So now, Nikos, for the tens of people that listen to the show who might not know who you are and why you're such a big deal, tell these people who you are and why you're such a big deal.
What's up, everyone? I'm Nikos Xydakis. I just finished up playing 5 years Division I volleyball at McKendree University, and I am now going to play professional volleyball overseas in Germany.
Germany, not Greece.
Not Greece.
It begins with a G, not the same.
No. We did have some complications with the Greece, all the Greece stuff. Nothing hatred towards anyone.
No.
Just simply didn't work out.
It's a complex thing.
It was a little complex. So I'm eligible to be a Greek citizen through descendancy. So we were working towards getting a Greek passport over the last couple months. And we found out pretty late in the process of trying to get it that it would not come in time. And the Greek team already had 4 foreigners, meaning if I came as American, we would have 5 foreigners. And in the Greek league, you can only have 4 foreigners in the arena while you're playing games at one time. So that would mean someone would have to sit home. Yep. And obviously no one wants to do that. Nope. I wouldn't want to do that. And I don't want to put anyone else in that situation. So we thought it was the best that I asked for a release from the team, and we got released. Luckily, I had other couple of contract offers that my agent found me and everything, and decided to go with Germany. Some other news that actually, I don't know if I can say the other news yet.
Don't say the other news.
I don't know if we can.
Don't get in trouble.
I don't know if we can say the
Again,
other news,
I don't want the world listening to this, Nikos, and getting you in trouble. I don't want that.
Yes. But yes, we're going to Germany. Yeah. I'm super excited to get to play with some of the guys I know, and I've played this past year. I know like 4 or 5 other guys on the team. So it'll be, I think, a really good experience for you. Year one, much more comfortable setting, obviously knowing some of the guys on the team already and everything. So it'll be a big adjustment, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah. So I want to talk about this whole piece. I do want to backtrack a little bit and run through. I don't want to say quickly, but just because I want to keep this pro thing, because I think that's the unique thing about what you're doing here, Nico. So that most of our athletes, even though we're incredible, do not play professional. And so you're getting this opportunity. It's a very unique opportunity. I really want to hammer this because I think it's very confusing for people. I think it was confusing for you.
Yes.
Like there's no playbook here.
No.
Everybody's a little different here. So let's dial back here. You played some volleyball here, Boylan High School.
Yep.
A little VC United.
Yep.
And then went to McKendree 5 years ago.
Correct.
Let's walk through it.
The journey.
Let's walk through the journey. Freshman year.
At McKendree. Freshman year at McKendree, it was such a big learning curve. I think a lot of athletes, once they go off to college and they come back the first time, I mean, I remember it like the back of my hand. Going from here to college, obviously, I was one of the better players to come out of Rockford, and going to McKendree, it's...
Rockford good.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah. And then going to McKendree, it was definitely like take a step back for a second, because you realize that everyone is much better than you are as a freshman. It was a tough kind of situation the first 2 years that I was in. My first year I redshirted. Obviously, a lot of people came back due to COVID. So we had a lot of older guys on the team.
Yeah, sorry, because you graduated high school in
2020. So right,
best time to graduate high school.
Right in COVID, all the e-learning and everything like that. I honestly didn't mind the e-learning, but yeah. So first year, definitely learning curve. I honestly really appreciated it. I know a lot of people are super eager to play and everything like that. But I kind of took it as it is. Like, I'm a very realistic person. I knew I wasn't going to play. So kind of just took the whole year to learn.
See, I'm going to cut you off there. That's fantastic. I don't think a lot of kids do. Yes. I think they go with the the coach said I could possibly play. I have a chance of starting. I have a da-da-da-da. And then they get there and that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait a minute. I was the best of my high school team and I was the best of my college club or high school club team. I made fun of the Rockford Good thing, but I do think we have this running joke here that, Rockford's its own little thing. It hangs out here.
It's its own bubble.
It is, and then all of a sudden we don't realize that, hey, if you go 60 miles east, you hit Chicago, you go 60 miles north, you hit Madison, there's some stuff here. And, sometimes we feel too good about ourselves.
Yes.
In Rockford, you go big time.
I agree.
Yeah. And now but for you to have that maturity to know I'm probably not going to play.
Yeah.
That's the deal.
Yeah, no, I think obviously Rockford, I would completely agree, is its own little bubble. Obviously the 60 miles east, you got Chicago and there's a bunch of kids, just much more talent than even maybe with just one kid here. So it's definitely a learning curve because obviously when you go to college, everyone's coming from different places. Yeah. So I know we had a bunch of California kids and they've been playing volleyball since they were like 6 years old. So
which is not the case here.
No, around Rockford, you really don't start playing volleyball till you're like 14.
Yeah. So, till high school.
Yeah. You walk in. You got to kind of pick it up fast. So, but yeah, the freshman year, I knew I wasn't going to play. The coaches were completely honest too.
Nice.
Throughout the whole process, there was no even hope of playing at all. So, like I said, realistic. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm better than this guy.
Yeah.
No, I knew I'm not better than half of these dudes. I was probably like third worst guy on the team. So a lot of learning curve in year one.
So you're better than two of the guys. So there.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess you put it that way. It wasn't the worst, but definitely down there.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of criticism in year one. We were a pretty cutthroat program in year one. I feel like, it was just like a lot of negative culture, this and that, because we wanted to be so good. And if you weren't really helping the team in a way, it's just like you weren't going to play at all. Yeah. And you didn't even get to play in practice. Like most days I didn't even get to play in practice until something happened with one of our players and ended up getting taken off the team. And there was really no other choice but to play me in practice. So, kind of blessing in disguise for me because I got to learn a bunch.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of year one. You're going into year two. It was kind of the same situation. There was like a small, slim 5% chance that I'd maybe play. Didn't really. I played 2 games that year. One time was like a pity go in, you know what I mean? We were killing the team. My family was there. So it was like, oh, you can go get.
Did coach know your family was there?
Yes. Yeah. It's pretty nice. Usually like the older guys try to get the younger guys in if we're up by a decent amount, you know what I mean? So I got to go in, got one kill. They got played last 5 points of the game. Later on in that year, I did play one more game and I actually got put in for real this time. We were losing and our other opposite was not having a good game. So they put me in the last, I don't know, it was like 15-13 in the third set. We were already down 2-0. So, ended up losing the game, but, it was like my first real game experience type of thing. So exciting, but again, year 2, a lot of learning. Year 3, going into my junior year, all the other opposites are gone. So it's really just me.
Yeah. This is where this story gets good, listeners, just so you know, buckle up.
So going into year 3, I'm the oldest opposite on the team and we have 2 freshmen coming in. And I guess I didn't realize how good the other freshmen were. Yeah. Until they got there and we started playing and everything. Going back and forth, it was like complete battle all year, all preseason long for who's going to get the starting spot week 1, me or the freshman. And I ended up getting it week 1 and we were playing BYU at BYU. And if you guys don't know men's volleyball, BYU is one of the, I wouldn't say hostile because the people are very nice, but it is one of the...
It's a little hostile.
It is. I mean, there's 5,000 fans in there, absolutely crowded. I can barely hear like from here to you.
Yeah.
Like it's so loud in there, you can barely hear anything. And obviously playing BYU for your first ever real start is not ideal, I would say. It's a really tough environment to play in, and I did not perform well. So I ended up getting pulled in my first career start. And kind of after that, I kind of really lost the spot for the rest of the year. I maybe started like 3 other games. And it was a really rough year for the team. We had like a bunch of new starters playing. So there was no chemistry with the team at all. We lost all of our old guys, and it was just, we were all over the place. So we ended up having a horrific year. We went like 1-13 in conference. It was not fun. Practices were not fun. It was hard. It was just one of the hardest years I've ever been a part of. 1, I'm sitting on the bench behind a freshman. 2, we're not really doing anything good. We're losing a lot of tough games. I think actually, if you look, we did some research on the statistics. I think we lost 27 sets by 2 points. So, I mean, we were right there. We were competing with every single team. Just couldn't really pull them out. So, a lot of struggle through that year. Obviously, it's really hard to take in you getting put on the bench for someone younger. And I thought to myself about transferring.
Especially after sitting for 2 years.
Yes.
Letting the older guys do their thing.
Yes. So it was a tough situation. Yeah. I remember the whole year our coach talking about not quitting on the team, this and that. And I mean, I remember crying plenty of times, like all year long, just because I wasn't playing. It was so tough. I'm watching, you know what I mean? It's just like, I felt like I was good enough to be out there, but just not how it went. Yeah. So,
not winning games.
No, I mean, and there was eventually a time where I got super frustrated and I went into our coach's office, Nikki Sandlin. Shout out the GOAT, Nikki Sandlin, AVCA Coach of the Year this year.
There we go.
She
better listen to this.
She probably will. And I went into her office. I was pretty hot, and it just came to basically that she just straight up told me that she didn't trust me to play, and she thought I was too inconsistent to help the team out on the court. And you know what I mean? I didn't really argue with her. It's just kind of, it is what it is. Yeah. And that's just how she felt. And the only thing I could do is like kind of prove her wrong in a sense. Maybe this year, maybe the year after, which I think I did later on. So yeah, it was tough. I thought about transferring a million times. I called my uncle on the phone, my uncle Derek. He got me into volleyball. So he started a lot of the volleyball around here and with the high schools and stuff like that. I would call him after every game and be like, oh, I don't know if this is for me, this and that. But I always looked back and reflected on the situation that I was in. And I was like, at the end of the day, it's just me versus one other guy. And I kind of know how I work, and I know my work ethic and how much time I'm going to put into the sport. So I didn't think I was not scared to go in and not transfer and stay and go in for the next year. So that's what I ended up doing. I stayed again. As everyone knows, I stayed there for 5 years. So going into my senior year, it was like, I knew that what I did over the summer put me in a good spot. So I had a really good preseason going into the senior year. But I actually was not the starter the first game of the year. And it was tough, really tough, because I thought I 100% deserved to be. But at the same time.
So you're comparing stuff in practice. You're like, this is how I'm playing. This is how the other guy's playing. Yeah, Okay.
As much as you're trying not to best to look at it, we do stat every single practice.
Really? Oh, yeah. So how can you not look at it?
So it's really hard to like not focus on the results and everything like that when they're right there in front of your face and we're allowed to look at them and they're posted and you know what I mean, this and that. And it's really hard to just focus on the things that make you better instead of looking at the end result of things, which are the stats and all. But yeah, first game of the year, I was not the starter. I was pretty heated. We were playing UC Irvine.
So to catch people up, this is the first game of basically your senior year.
First game of my true senior year. And I did not start.
4 years. Been there 4 years, Nikos. 4 years.
Yeah.
Put in your time at this point.
Yeah, it was tough. But I don't know. I mean, it makes you, I think that's what makes an athlete so much better. It's going to make it somewhat, make you so much hungrier. Just like seeing the situation you're in. And I feel like a lot of athletes that just get success right away is sometimes do not pan out later down the line because they don't understand the adversity and the struggle and the what the work it takes to get to finding success later on. So, but yeah, it didn't start the first game of the year. Was pretty upset. No one played well. We got smoked. Obviously, respect to UC Irvine. They're top 4 team in the nation.
Not a bad team at all. Yeah.
No, they eventually had the player of the year on their team. So he's exceptional player. After that game, we traveled to a couple hours down the road to Pepperdine for our next game the next couple days. And, in my head, I was like, obviously after game 1 last year, we made the switch pretty early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was like, I'll probably start the next game tomorrow because me and the guy are pretty comparable players who are both really skilled. And I didn't get to start the second game of the year against Pepperdine. And I remember her telling us the lineup. We do serve and pass every single day during our game. So we have an hour practice and then we play later on that day just to get all the touches and everything moving. And during that serve and pass, we usually play a set to 15 or something like that just to feel each other out. And I remember not starting that second game. And literally right after the practice was done, I had to go to the bathroom and take a second and just not let everything out, but just kind of in my opinion, I was in a situation where I was oh my God, this is going to happen all over again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's it was a very stressful time, but later in that game, Pepperdine, he got pulled. I got put in. And I played pretty well the rest of the night, and I got to start the next night. And that was the best game that I've had up until that point. Mm-hmm. So the third night against Pepperdine, I got to start, played really well, had the most kills on the team. I think most points. We ended up losing, but Pepperdine's also a really good team.
Yeah.
So it was fun. It was honestly one of the most rewarding feelings I've ever felt. Just because it took so long to get to just that singular point. And then the rest of the year, I started the rest of the year. Yeah. So it was kind of nice. It felt really good to finally find success. And it was exciting, but I also had to deal with some adversity halfway through the year. I think I started the next 14 games or something like that. But on one of our trips, I tore my meniscus and I was done for the rest of the year. So another little adversity thing that I had to deal with, being out for the rest of the year, having surgery, going through PT and everything. Honestly, the process was pretty quick though. It was 2 months really. It wasn't too bad. I had good doctors and everyone that helped me along the way with the PT and everything. It was pretty speedy recovery. But
did you get surgery here or down there? I
got surgery down there just because I wanted to get it done as soon as possible because they didn't really tell me how long it was going to be because they didn't. Getting the MRI and everything, they couldn't really tell if they needed to do a full repair or just clean it up a little bit or this and that. And ended up just being I wouldn't say the words cleanup, but something a little along the lines of cleaning up. Okay. So obviously a full repair had been 5 months, no walking, no nothing. Mm-hmm. But it was 2 months. I honestly, after surgery, I literally stood up and I was I can walk. But I didn't realize that was going to happen. A couple of days later, I could not walk. Yeah. So I think it was the adrenaline of waking up and everything. Yep. But so I had to deal with that the rest of the year. Came back here, trained super hard. And I was got selected as one of the captains for my fifth year. Yeah. I ended up coming back due to my first year because I redshirted, didn't play at all. My fifth year, I was super confident going into the year just because I started the 14 games last year and I had a bunch of game experience. So wasn't really nervous at all. And this year, I started all 28 games and had a really successful year. And it was probably the most fun I've ever had just because I'm competing at such a high level and I'm finally doing I'm getting the results that I've been working so hard to get this whole time. Yeah. It was a really shaky start to the year. We played a really tough competition, but I'm thankful that Nikki trusted me throughout the whole process and allowed me to mess up a little bit and still trust me to play here and there. She put a bunch of trust in me, obviously being the oldest guy on the team and being one of the captains and one of the leaders of the group. So I owe her a lot because there's plenty of games where I started off in a terrible hole and she let me play through it and found success later on in the game. So, this year was super, super rewarding. And it was really fun. And got in the record books a little bit. Not first, but top 5 in a couple categories. So that was exciting. So yeah, really good year, really fun.
So things I want to point out here, because I think just things for, because, well, one, for the athlete side of things, it's so easy to look at that and, obviously redshirt year 1, not a big deal. That happens. Second year, you got older guys in front of you.
Yeah,
we kind of get that.
Playing behind a 6th year.
Yeah, well, there we go. Take your COVID year and, third year junior, all of a sudden that freshman come and talented, good for him. But play over you, majority of the year. Senior, now we hit it, injury.
Yep.
After all that hard work, I really think most kids would have transferred out earlier. I don't know. That the whole portal thing makes it very easy to be like, oh, this is dumb. Coach is dumb. And shoo. But you didn't. You get out. The thing I do want to point out is Nikki, correct?
Yes.
Like
Nikki.
For her to have that real conversation with you. And this is where I think coaches really struggle for some odd reason, especially with with volleyball teams. There's 15 guys on the team. Like it's not like it's a track team of 48 guys. Like it's to have that conversation, be like, hey, this is where you sit right now.
Yeah.
And not give you like this washy, like, well, we like you, but you just keep working hard and blah, blah, blah. And not be upfront with it. And, and you leave confused and frustrated and then want to transfer out. I think the way she handled that, I wasn't there at the conversation, but like the way she handled it, like at least she was honest with you and you're like, oh, okay, I will.
Yeah, she's.
I'll do this.
I think she's really good about all that stuff. She's a really relationship-based coach. So I know some of the coaches where they won't really have a relationship with their players and they just kind of focus on the volleyball. Nikki's completely different. So she's more relationship. So you kind of get to know her on more of a personal level where she's kind of allowed to be. I mean, not allowed. She can do whatever she wants to do. But it like allows you to be more personable and allows her to like give you really good criticism. So, and she's always going to tell you how it is. She's a pretty fiery coach. And I think that's another really good reason why success is super high for us this past couple of years. Because I think she gets on us a lot faster than she doesn't like let anything fly really. It's like, if we're not doing well, she'll let you know right away.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was, I think that honestly was a super big reason why my career path kind of changed. It was like straight up real. She was never fake to me in any way. So, I never wanted to blame her. I mean, she's just doing her job at the end of the day. It's really like how your personal performance is doing. And I think
she's got to win some games.
I think a lot of athletes don't realize that. It's like in the end, like where you're at is what the position you put yourself in. It's no one else's like, you know what I mean? Yep. At the end of the day, you just got to be better. Yep. So I think Nikki does a really good job of that. And to go back on the transferring stuff, I feel like sometimes a lot of athletes transfer too early too. They're just like, oh, I don't like the situation I'm in and I'm just going to leave. And then they end up being in a worse situation. And that was one of the big reasons I didn't leave. Because in my mind, I knew the situation I was in, simple 1v1 type of deal. Where if I went and transferred in the portal, obviously people do their research about the other team and be like, oh, this person plays my position, but you're never going to know how they play or this or that. So you really get there. So I really want to put myself in a new situation. If I really liked the situation I was in, obviously learning a whole different team culture and this and that, all those aspects kind of play into it. But at the end of the day, I knew what I was capable of doing in the off season instead of putting myself in a whole new situation where I'm unfamiliar with new guys. And, so I don't know. I just continue to just bet on myself and figure that I would end up successful in the end. And it kind of worked out that way. Well,
and I find it so funny. I'll watch the men's NCAA basketball tournament and, you'll see their starting lineup and then, they'll do the history on the guys and hey, this guy's a junior, this guy's a senior. And the juniors, he's on his 3rd team in 3 years. The senior's on his 4th team in 4 years. And it's just like, what are we like?
I know
you can't even develop athletes. It blows my mind. And there's, I'll just leave to here. I'll leave to here. And then you have the NIL stuff and I don't know. I don't feel like we're necessarily doing the best for.
Completely agree. I think it was really funny this year. ESPN posted like, oh, guess which team is which, because with their old schools and there was like teams with like 5 guys and not one single guy was from the school And it was like, I have no idea what team that is. And it ended up being like, I think Alabama or something like that. But like there was all 5 starters were from different schools the year before. It's just, I don't know. I feel like people always, sometimes the grass isn't always greener somewhere else. So I don't know. I always think it's just best to realistically think about your situation instead of just like acting impulsively, which I think a lot of athletes do. Yeah. Just because they're not getting what they want.
Yeah. Well, and now to connect it to your current situation here, you went from not playing your freshman year, not playing your sophomore year, getting outplayed by a freshman your junior year.
Completely true. And
now fast forward 2 years, you're going to Germany to play professionally and continue on this journey.
Yes.
Nikos, you're technically the first, and Holden would be the second professional volleyball player to come out of VC United.
Yes.
Which is fun. So for those who don't know, tell the Holden connection here, because I think that's fantastic.
So Holden and I, we went to the same high school, went to Boylan.
His last name is Marriott. Thank you.
Holden Marriott and I went to the same high school. He's a year younger than me. Obviously I did 5 years and he only did 4 years in college. Both played at the Division 1 level, and now we actually are playing on the same team in Germany, which is super cool. It sounds weird because we've known each other for so long, but we've never actually played together. We would have if COVID didn't happen and this and that. But yeah, it's super exciting. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun knowing someone or knowing a couple people on the personal level, I think everything will go a lot more smooth over there once we get over there in 2 weeks. Yeah. So exciting news.
It happens quick.
Yes.
So again, I think that's the fun story within this. Again, 2 years ago, you weren't playing.
No.
People were playing over you, and now we're playing professionally in Germany. Talk about the physical piece, because you mentioned hey, I'm gonna put my nose down and work. It's not just playing volleyball; it's the weight room stuff too. You're insanely consistent with that. Men's volleyball, if people don't watch it, is extremely physical.
Yes, especially in the last couple of years.
Yeah. Oh, it's gotten more. You think?
I think everything's just ramping up even more. I think everyone nowadays wants like the most physical guy instead of the shorter type of. Especially over in the pro scene, kind of noticed that they really, really, really care about how much you can score, and that's a big piece for attackers to get recruited overseas. But going back on to your first question, the physical stuff. I've always believed, and I think it's very common knowledge, in which I don't understand why more people aren't really focused on the gym part of it. Obviously, everything you're going to do in the gym, especially training here at Oak with Matt and you and the other trainers, we're doing stuff that is specifically for my sport, which directly correlates and will directly make you a better athlete so that you can perform better on the court. And I don't understand why more athletes don't train weights or don't train mobility athletically, you know what I mean, in the weight room. Mm-hmm. For me, it's just natural. Obviously,
You played football.
Played football for tackle football from 6 all the way to 18, so 13 years. And obviously, even when I'm 6 years old, I'm training at Iron Titans at whatever time in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, doing different. Yeah, we had at 5 o'clock in the morning, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Wow.
And I did that all the way up until I was 18. Okay. So, Boylan's a good program. If you want to play football somewhere, play at Boylan. But, I was just introduced to the weights super early on. Granted, I never really liked the weights early on. I wouldn't say I took lifting seriously really until, I came back after my freshman year winter break, and I was like, okay, I really need to get going with this whole thing, seeing how everyone else is much more athletically developed than I was.
Freshman year of college. That's the wake up call.
That was definitely the wake up call. And I was like, okay, I really need to put on some more size. I really need to jump a lot higher, move a lot faster, be a little bit more mobile, coordinated, this and that. So that kind of like shook me up a little bit. Yeah. And that was like, oh, well, if I want to be a good athlete, I need to do the weights. I know there are some talents out there where it's like, they're just athletically gifted and, sometimes the weights aren't as important to them, but I feel like majority, probably like 95% of athletes, need to do the weights. I mean, I think 100% of athletes need to, but obviously the 5% of just pure athleticism, sometimes they don't need it as much as others, but I think every athlete here needs, especially at VC United, needs to start training the weights a little bit more. And that also could be why we're seeing a little bit of drop off of skill. I think a lot of the kids in Rockford and today in the volleyball scene are just playing a lot, which is great. They're learning the game, but I think they need to incorporate or start thinking about training itself a little bit more, because then again, when I was 18, maybe I was a little unrealistic at the time too, but I feel like a lot of the kids just think they can play Division I or go play somewhere without really doing the work and just kind of basing it off of pure talent, which is just not going to be the case. I mean, everyone's extremely talented once you get to that level. And I thought I was extremely talented until I got there too. So, I just think everyone needs to do it more. Yeah. I mean, I take it pretty seriously because I think that's, as I'm getting older, obviously the body is getting a little tougher.
At 22, 23.
So I still got a long years to go. I want to play for at least like 7 years.
Okay.
So I want to play till I'm 30. So obviously
that'd be a nice run, man. Yes. That would be great.
So obviously the weights, the mobility, the stretching, everything, rolling out, taking care of the body, eating right, sleep will all help that. Yeah. Which I try to take pretty seriously. So I think a lot of kids don't really have enough knowledge on that, which is also probably part of the part where they don't train as much.
Yeah. Yeah. So one, thank you for the plug. I appreciate that. And that whole fantastic, like everything you said there, I think is spot on, and it runs through my head every day. Not the same situation, but going from middle school to high school football for Adam, I went from starting to not starting because everybody else hit puberty and got bigger, faster, stronger. And I did not. And I went from starting to Adam's on the kick return team, which is not exciting at all. And so my parents would come and I would have the nice clean white jersey on the side. I'm like, I hate this so much. Yeah. And with football, just ingrained, like, oh, football, you lift weights. So you da. And that's my hope, with, and the girls volleyball a little bit different, but specifically with the guys volleyball, like this is we're going to say up and coming sport. It's continuing to get bigger. It is. It's goofy right now because different colleges are kind of, you don't know who has a good, men's program and who doesn't have a men's program at all.
It differs.
It very much does.
Yes.
Yeah. And so my push for this is that I want, it's such a cool sport. It's such an aggressive power athlete sport. It's different than the girls. The girls is very pretty. It's a pretty sport.
It is.
They pass and it's smooth. And the guys is just like, I got boom, and so aggressive.
Correct.
And so powerful, that to be a weak athlete, is just not going to get the job done.
No, not at all.
And I don't think until you have that come to Jesus moment, like, oh man, I'm not there.
Yeah. Behind.
I think a lot of it is like, hey, it's not that your hands were bad when you went to block. It's that guy out jumps you by this much, and you're not even close. So he's just going to hit over you, and good luck stopping him type of thing. Yes. And that's where I think it eventually comes. I think there's a maturity piece there, with the guys. Cause you're right. There are guys here that are here for 8 hours a day.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my gosh. And they complain, my knees kind of hurt. No kidding. I'm sitting here watching you. My knees hurt. Like, holy cow. Like, that's incredible.
Well, I think that's also another thing. A lot of the pains and the aches and stuff like that. I mean, back when I was this age and I was doing the same thing, there was no really warm up. You kind of just, at that age, you just kind of go, which I wish, obviously I knew to warm up, but at the same time I was like, oh, my body feels fine. Like I'll just go. I think that's caught up to me a little bit. Yeah. Oh, definitely a lot of it. I definitely need a long, extensive warm up every single day. Yeah. So, I think that's also part of it. But
well, and even you today, tell the listeners what your workout was today, Nikos.
It was a pretty big recovery day, and luckily Matt and I are super communicative on how my body is feeling every single day. So I got here and I rolled out my lower body, rolled out my lats because I've had some scap and trap and shoulder kind of tightness and knotting and stuff like that.
Turns out when you swing really hard, stuff like that happens.
Last couple months, so we've been dealing with that. But yeah, I rolled out. Then I hopped in the Normatec arms.
Let's talk about how long you rolled out for, because a lot of people, they grab the foam roller, they roll out for 3 minutes and like, oh, I'm done.
I try to do each, I mean, depending on how each body part feels, but obviously the quads and the glutes being my worst. So I usually try to spend at least like 3 minutes on each one for that. I probably spent like 20 minutes rolling out, which is something I've come to learn. Matt has kind of pushed me to roll out as much as possible because obviously if no one tells you, it's just like, oh, you're just going to roll it out until it's like, oh, it's rolled out. But having the clock up there and timing everything, it just, I don't know.
Every 3 minutes you switch over to something. Yeah, absolutely.
Try my best to recover as much as possible. So after I rolled out, I got into the Normatec arms, did that. Luckily, Matt said he would work on my shoulder today. So we did a bunch of, put some elbows and some thumbs and my scap, my trap, and loosen it all up for the weekend because I'm playing on Saturday. And then did some more lat rollout and I had one of those high price balls right on my pec, kind of flutter it a little bit, make sure everything's moving good. And then hopped in the Normatec boots for the legs for a little bit. So tomorrow it'll probably be more of a mobility day and muscle activation stuff to get ready for the weekend. But I don't know. That's why another reason I love training here. It's just because it's not just a set thing. It's like you can tell people how you feel and the plans will get adjusted. And there's different exercises that maybe you can do instead of something that you don't like as much. And that's another reason I love training with Matt is he obviously knows me on a very personal level and he knows things I don't really like doing. And he knows things that I do enjoy and incorporates different movements that would still target the same thing that are more enjoyable for me. So,
well, and how easy is it to, again, shameless plug, thank you. How easy is it to be like, oh, I'm sore, I'm just not going to do anything? Like, that's where I think a lot of people end up going, which rest, not a bad thing too, but you throw in that active recovery.
Correct.
You throw in that, hey, I'm tight. Hey, there's a mobility piece here. Hey, there's some tight tissue. To go to Walmart, and I'm not even saying you have to, but come here, to go to Walmart and buy a $10 roller in their little fitness section, and then throw that on your living room floor and watch some Netflix and roll out. Like, it's not rocket science here.
No.
I don't want to say you can't really screw up rolling out. Like, just figure it out somehow.
Yeah. I mean, you put
go
the
back
roller
and forth
down there on your muscle, lay on it, roll around on it. I mean, it's literally exactly what it says.
Yes.
So.
Anybody can figure this out. Google it, YouTube it, ChatGPT it. If you're hurting, you don't need to run to a physical therapist.
No.
Not saying you can't, you could, but for 90% of stuff, you could take care of your own business. And so for the people who continue to struggle with, oh, my knees hurt. Okay. Well, are we rolling out? Are you attacking calves? Are you attacking quads? Are you attacking hamstrings? Are you playing 8 hours a day? Could you play for 7 hours? Could you back it off a little bit? Do we need a little bit more weight training? Like, there's just that whole piece that I think you figured out. That's what I want to highlight here. There's this piece of the puzzle of, hey, I'm going to play, I'm going to practice, I'm going to play competitively. Like this summer, you're enjoying it. You're playing. Is it grass on Saturday?
Playing a lot of grass.
There we go. Which I absolutely love. I love the idea of having a different surface. Sand, grass. I think that's fantastic. That's why I love. I think tennis is great like that. Playing on the different surfaces there, which we don't have sand here. That'd be cool if we did. What a great just mix up. Deal within that whole thing. But then you have the strength conditioning piece to it, the performance piece to it, the recovery piece to it. Because I think what people have to understand as you get better. Is basically you're a Ferrari right now. Yeah. And if you get one little lug nut that's a little bit loose, you're falling off the cliff.
I know.
Where younger athletes
just do it.
Who are not a Ferrari, they're a Pontiac Vibe.
Yeah.
You get not a big deal. Yeah. But when you're swinging as hard as you're doing, when you're jumping as high as you're jumping, like that's where
a lot more force.
Yes.
It's like the same thing with, if you look at like Zion Williamson, super big guy, a lot of force. Obviously I am not Zion, but obviously all the
maybe
impact,
too big of a guy at times.
Yes. Yeah. Obviously he creates a lot of force, but there's a lot of force impacted on his body, which makes the recovery a lot harder. Mm-hmm. So
and he's had some injury things.
Correct. He has had some injury things over the years. But going back, recovery is really important. I felt like, so after we usually play in college, Thursday, Saturday were our games. And same
team 2 times in a row?
We played 2 different teams.
2 different.
So
Okay.
we usually have travel partners. So our travel partner was us in Lindenwood. So if we went to go play a team, like if we played Ohio State on Thursday, Lindenwood would play them on Saturday, and we would play a different team on, you know what I mean? It'd be like flip flop. So like 4 teams would play each other one weekend, and you just flip flop around.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that way it makes it easier to travel around. And not taking this trip one day and another trip another day. So,
Gotcha.
but yeah, I literally had to go in every Sunday and do a whole hour of recovery just so that I feel good for the week.
Yeah.
Because obviously practicing 3 hours a day with weights and playing games and this and that, it's a lot on your body, especially 8 months out of the year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, every Sunday I would go into Club Fitness. We're down in St. Louis where I had a gym membership, and I would do sauna. I would do all the rolling out. I would do all my stretching. I would do some KOT. I would do mobility stuff. And then whenever I felt like I was good enough to go, then I would go home. But it's like Sunday, I don't have anything to do. So why would I not take, you know what I mean? This is kind of like my future job. Well, it is my job now. So it's got to take everything super serious at this point. So
a job where you don't have to pay taxes.
No,
that's exciting.
It is.
That's the best part of the whole thing.
I know.
Holy jeez.
So
think about making money and being able to keep it all. And he goes, holy cow.
I know. Well, we need to make some more money first. You know, we're not making too much right now, but it'll progressively get better.
Yeah.
So
Awesome, man. No, I just love how far you've come. Because again, no offense to you. In high school, if you were going to say Nikos is going to be a professional athlete, I might have chuckled a little bit. Maybe you would have too. I
am right now.
You know, so to see your growth within this whole thing, your maturity to come with this, run into adversity, come through adversity, you know, and now like you're still rolling with the whole thing and still, hey, next challenge. Again, not saying everybody has to go play professional sport because they don't, but like to handle the opportunities that have come your way in a very mature manner and to, you know, keep your head level through this whole thing, I think is insanely impressive. And if there's someone that can play for the next 7 years, you know, I think you got it. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. I hope I can keep going too. We'll see. Maybe even longer.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm hoping to make it to 7. If we're feeling good at 7, I want to keep going, but obviously we'll have to reassess with life, how the body's feeling, what my relationship status is and everything. Cause obviously all that matters as you get older. Cause I do want to have a stable house and wife and kids. So I don't know, you know, going overseas, different countries, this and that might be not best for that. But see where it plays out.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Cool. Very cool. Nikos, what did we miss? Anything you wish I would have asked you that I didn't?
I don't think so.
We're getting pretty good at this podcast thing after 2/3 episodes.
Yeah. Today was a good one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nailed it. People want to follow you and find out what you're doing, you know, overseas and whatnot here in a couple weeks. Where do they go?
I usually highlight a lot of stuff on my Instagram page, which is my first and last name, no spaces. I'll probably have to spell it out.
Spell that for people.
First name Nikos, last name Xydakis. So I usually post. I'm pretty active on there. Not really good with Facebook, so don't follow me on Facebook. I don't really know how to work the app very well. So a lot of things through Instagram.
And the club that you're playing for is team that you're playing for.
It's called Bitterfield Wolfen. And you can also find, if you just type in Bitterfield-Wolfen on Instagram, you can find their Instagram and everything where they highlight a lot of stuff.
We'll tag them also.
Yes.
There we go. Which is awesome because again, Holden's playing for the same team.
Yes, exciting.
Yeah. So we will follow you guys. So you leave here in 2 weeks. So the end of July here.
31st. We leave on the 31st, arrive on the 1st.
Okay.
That's pretty much all the information we got right now.
Games start
October, I think either first or second week of October.
Okay.
So that's why we have to leave a little bit early. Obviously, get 2 months of training in. I'm sure we might have some other games that we might play before the season actually starts and everything. But pretty much 2 weeks of training. So. And
your season goes from October to April.
Yes. It's going to be
a grind, man.
Long year. Not very many breaks, but once again, this is our job. So, I mean, we got plenty of time to.
It's nice to get paid for this.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yes, it is. We're working our way up on the salary part of it, but you know, it is something to start off. So I guess, I mean, I could talk about the schedule, I guess.
Yeah, bring it.
So I did talk to the team manager a couple nights ago, and obviously I'm pretty curious about what I'm going to be doing exactly and the times of everything. And actually I was very happy to hear what our schedule was. So the team is super big on sleep. So a lot of our,
Thank you, Jeremy.
A lot of our, which they said was very unusual compared to other clubs. Usually they do a lot of stuff in the morning, where a lot of the stuff that we will be doing is afternoon to evening, pretty much everything. So we usually, our first thing that we would have to do in the morning ish would be at 10:30. And that's like recovery / physio. They call them all physio stuff. So you can go there for however amount of time. Our first practice that is optional most of the days, because it's more individualized. It's at 1 p.m. So obviously if you don't go to the physio, you don't go to the 1 p.m. practice, you get to sleep even more. Yeah. I know we have a weight session in there in between the 1 o'clock and our 8 p.m. practice. So
8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Wow.
So we have an 8 p.m. practice. That's our full team practice, where it's fully required to be there and everything and train with the team. But after that, we're done. I mean, it's obviously some days if we're doing 2 practices a day and weights and stuff like that, it could be a lot on the body, but having that 10:30 o'clock block with the physio and recovering and do all that stuff will help us out a lot. Games,
I'm assuming, are in the PM.
Games are in the PM. I think they're at what they say over there, 19:30. So 7:30 here or 7:30 over there. Yes. So I think I saw at least another team release their schedule already. So I knew there was some games in October that go all the way to April, but I'm assuming they're most of the time in the PM.
Yeah. Well, and how much sense does it make to practice at the same time that you play?
Someone was just talking about that to me the other day. That's going to be a big new thing for me. Obviously, at McKendree, we practiced at 6 a.m. every single morning while we're in season.
Well, and you have to get rid of, around the college schedule.
Yes.
Guys got 8, 9, 10 o'clock classes.
And a bunch of classes. And obviously, Nikki has kids and everything like that. Yeah. So obviously, in the morning, that just would work best for her. Yeah. And I honestly didn't mind the morning practices. I was usually pretty awake and stuff like that. But honestly, the body probably feels better, more loose after you're walking around all day. You can do whatever you want towards the end of the night. So I think the end of the night practices will definitely help the body out as well. Yeah. So I'm excited for it. Yeah. So it'll be fun.
No, dude, that's awesome. Well, there's so much research in the way of like normal human fitness, not what you're doing, but like the average Joe type guy. Like if you're working out at 5 a.m., it's really hard to max a deadlift, and that, like, do you eat, do you not eat, are you versus, hey, if you work out in the afternoon. Now the risk in the afternoon is if you had a hard day at work, or if you stress that pops up, blah. Yeah. So there's a bonus there. But what you guys are doing where like, hey, we can sleep, you're a professional athlete. This is your only focus. This is what I do. You're able to sleep in, go grocery shopping, whatever you need, get your physio stuff, get your strength stuff in, eat, recover, Hey, now I got practice, but you're all primed for practice. Well, then game day hits. It's the same thing.
So yeah, it's a big plus.
Good job, Germany.
I know they're doing
it. Genius. Seriously.
They're doing it right.
Yeah.
They said this is their first year doing it this way though. Yeah. I think they just wanted to change things up a little bit, see how everything went.
Yeah. I can't think of anything better, to be honest with you. That's it. Because I think it's funny here with volleyball, and you can't get around it. But like we have these PM practices, but when do you play tournaments? 8 a.m. Like we're not practicing that.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I am super excited for the night stuff because in the morning I feel much more, just more tight in the morning.
Yeah,
with the muscles and everything. Yeah. Just waking up and going. So.
Gets worse once you hit 24. Yeah, man.
I'm sure next year will be definitely something else too. I don't know. I just, even when we were doing like open gyms at McKendree and stuff, we'd have them towards the night and you would just be able to, felt like you could just jump a lot higher. Mm-hmm. Everything was just so much better in the evening. So I'm excited for the evening stuff.
Yeah.
Get a lot of sleep.
It just makes sense. That's fantastic.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Well, I know, I'm trying to think of everything I've ever done, like in the way of the triathloning and stuff like that. Like if you don't, because those races start early in the morning, like if you don't, that's where you have to do some early morning training because you have to figure out that nutrition piece. Like what are you going to have in your belly? You're the opposite where, hey, you're your competition is in the PM. So that's probably when you should train. Like that kind of makes sense. Like that whole thing.
Yep.
I love the whole thing.
Yep.
Oh, Nikos, I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Please post things on the gram and whatnot so people can see what's going on. And
I'll keep everyone updated.
You guys are 7 hours ahead?
7 hours ahead, yes.
Okay.
So we'll have to see all the communication back to the U.S. You know, I don't know how much it'll be, but try my best to try to stay in touch with everyone and make sure everything kind of aligns. So.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yes.
Very cool. Dude, I'm excited for you. Yeah, this will be a ton of fun. Yes. And you and Holden, and yeah. I mean, really, man, I mean, everything's aligning. You're healthy. You're feeling good.
I am, yes. Body's feeling really good.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Stiff a couple of days, but just a couple of days fix and all good.
There we go.
So nothing major. I'm feeling pretty good. So
that's good.
I'm excited.
Awesome. Nikos, thanks so much. Thanks for doing it again.
Thank you.
Third time's a charm. Listeners, thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for listening to another episode of Oak Performance Radio. Don't forget to check us out on the social at Oak Performance and online at www.oakstrength.com/Oak Performance. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.